Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1435, which was broadcast on November 30th, 2020. We opened up with a moment of bliss with special guest Randy, where Randy claims that the voices in Bray's head are his. But Alexa thinks, well, who do you think is manipulating who? And the Fiend makes the lights go out, and Randy says, see what I mean? And then Bliss says, see what I mean? And then they go to commercial, I guess. I don't remember exactly what happened there. Then we had Jeff versus Elias in Symphony of Destruction. This was a very violent match, and Jeff Hardy won. It was pretty fun. Then we had R-Truth in the piano. We had guitar pick Knuckles, which, ouch. And then Elias is electrocuted by a speaker by using a non-conductive piece of wood to jab into there. So, yeah. And then we had Jeff pile a bunch of violins onto Elias before hitting a swanton bomb from the ring post to the outside to win the match. It was fun. I liked it. Also, I enjoyed that Tom Phillips called the bass a bassoon, because that's a completely different instrument. I mean, the words are similar. Bassoon is a funnier word, so I get why he would go to. He may want to. He'd be tempted to say bassoon. It's just a fun. It's a fun instrument to say, just all around. But that's not the instrument that was used in this match. It would have been a very expensive instrument to use in this match. Because I don't think there's not really like all these instruments. They could get like $100, $200 really cheaply made versions of it. But bassoon, no way. There's no such thing as an inexpensive bassoon. And especially not one that you would smash somebody over the back with. Anyway, then we had Ricochet versus Slapjack. I wrote it as Rick, and I was like, wait, Ric Flair had a match? Wait, no. It was Ricochet versus Slapjack. Slapjack won with some help from his friends. Dana appeared during the match and slapped Ali, yelling at him about Reckoning. But Slapjack wins by slapping Rick's jack and getting the pin there. Why did I write that? Slaps his jack. Anyway, Miz TV with Sheamus happened, which ended up in a big old brouhaha. Then we had Asuka and Lana team up against Shayna and Nia, and Lana pinned Shayna to get the win there. Incredible. Why was this not a championship match? They already beat them as a tag team the last time. Do you now have to pin the champions twice to get a championship match? I don't know. Then we had New Day or Xavier Woods of the New Day versus Cedric Alexander of the Hurt Business, and Cedric Alexander won via the lumbar check. Then we had a triple threat to determine who will fight the champion, Drew McIntyre, at TLC, between Keith Lee, Riddle, and AJ Styles. AJ Styles wins this match. It was at this point to the end of the show that I was in the Thunderdome. So I was kind of off to the side. I was on the right side to the left of the commentary table, so you could spot me. Actually, I was in there partway through the women's tag match, but I didn't spot myself until later. I haven't gone back and looked to see if I was any good shots earlier on. Then we had Dana versus Reckoning. Let's see. Dana won, and Ali is very mad. Is yelling at Reckoning for failing. Then we had some peach pie that was given. Oh, who had the peach pie? Somebody gave AJ a peach pie. Was it Riddle? But then Omos says, that's not pie, that's cupcake. It was pretty. I enjoyed that. So we had a tag team match. Plus AJ was on commentary. Almost was there as well. Had AJ's back, and I was hanging out with him over at the commentary table on my screen there. But we had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus team up to fight The Miz and Morrison. AJ. Oh, that's right. AJ. The peach pie was from Miz and Morrison because they wanted him to help Miz cash in the Money in the Bank contract. So AJ does attack disqualification in favor of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. He tries to cash in for The Miz. The Miz is hesitant. The referee is like, I don't know. And then by the time Drew McIntyre is recovered, by the time anybody can figure out what they're doing, I guess. And it's another failed attempt at cashing in. That is, the contract was not cashed in. Not a failed attempt. You know what I mean. So he still has the contract. And we have a big old brawl there at the end. But AJ, I appreciate that he, like, all the time, say, I don't care who I face, I'm going to beat him. He said, he straight up said, yeah, it would be easier to win the championship if I fight The Miz than Drew McIntyre. Like, duh. And even Morrison was like, yeah, that's very true. And I appreciate that. That should be the answer more often. It's like, yeah, I'm maybe not the. I would rather have an easier time. That's what I'd say. I could beat both of them, of course, but it would be such an easier night if I fought The Miz instead of Drew McIntyre. So yeah, I like that. And there's so many times when that type of answer would make so much sense. Like, I'd rather fight the person who doesn't have a friend who's always at ringside, which would be the opposite in that case. But I would still say it's harder to defeat Drew McIntyre. Yeah. I would also, if I was AJ, I think I would rather fight Randy Orton than Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton seems more beatable than Drew McIntyre does. But anyway, I'm wondering if this will end up being a T or an L or a C match or a TLC match, or if it'll be the first of Drew's matches lately that is not a hardcore match of any kind for the championship. I guess that him winning it back, that wasn't a hardcore match, but there was still some. No, it was still count. It was Falls Count Anywhere or something like that. Forget exactly what it was. It was the least hardcore of the matches, but it was the best, I thought, between him and Randy. So anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on Raw this week. In just a few minutes is this week's NXT, where we're going to see Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez in a ladder match for the War Games advantage. That's going to be awesome. And there's some other stuff too. So I will have an episode talking about that, and soon I hope to have a big catch-up episode on 205 about 205 Live and NXT UK, since I've fallen. As of this week, I'll be like a month behind, I think, or something like that. So let me know what you thought about this episode by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. That's not a thing. That's the only time that's ever going to happen. Bye.